I'm Amanda and I run Mums, Bums and Tums classes, which is a fitness class for you to bring your babies to. So I thought I would start a little podcast with some mums just to talk about general mum life and the worries that we have and the fitness that we do and everything else involved. And today joining me we have got Sue.
Hi.
So if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I am Sue, 34 years young, 3 children, my own small business, and a husband as well at home.
That on the side.
No, sorry, I had to put that one in.
So how old are the kids now?
So I've got 2 boys. The eldest is 7. Then my youngest boy is just turned. No, sorry, my eldest is 9. Gosh,
oh my goodness.
Sorry. No, I've just.
He's not listening.
9. No, he's not. It's fine. Eldest is 9, going on 19. And then my youngest son is 7. And then I've got my little girl who is 16 months.
Oh.
I have to say 16 months because I'm like, she's
a baby still.
She's still a baby.
I know.
The way that she behaves and interacts right now, you'd think that she was over 2.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's crazy.
I love her. But yeah, I feel like as well anyway, before they get to 2, it's in months, and then they hit 2 and you're like, yeah, that's 2.
Yeah, it's just 2. Yeah.
Whatever.
Then
The 2 now.
age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine it now? Like I am 195 months old or something.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
And what's that in years?
Yeah.
Like when you try and convert inches to centuries.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've obviously you come to class, not used to, because you do. Obviously, we're just in a bit of an injury at the minute. So how did you find out about classes?
So it was Instagram. Good old Instagram.
Thank God for Instagram.
But I've got a few friends who I knew that came to you and they'd be uploading videos and stuff, which I loved. But at the time, my 2 boys were too old for me to come with them. And I just threw myself into work. But then when I had my little girl, I was adamant that I needed to go to the gym just because, well, not just for fitness, for this whole bounce back, because this whole bounce back,
it's not real.
It's not real. And women shouldn't feel that pressure to bounce back.
No.
Everything changes. But it was really for me, for my mental health.
Massively, yeah.
And it's kind of like a baby class for
it's like a sensory for them because there's so much going on.
So much to do. And she's like with other kids and you're
it's
giving
the interaction,
her attention.
yeah.
And so it's
good.
Yeah.
Did you struggle with your mental health with the boys? Yeah.
So so I was 25 when I had my eldest. I've always been a bit mature in the head kind of thing. I've never really, I've always acted older. Yeah. So going through my pregnancy, I had high risk pregnancies for my 2 boys, and then my little girl, I had HG, so the vomiting for the entire pregnancy. But with the boys, it was quite stressful, and I had this whole vision of new mum. I am going to be, going to be able to breastfeed. I'm going to take
It's going to be perfect.
Oh, it's going to be perfect. Like I'm going to have this baby placed in my arms and know exactly what to do with them. And going through a stressful pregnancy and then not the nicest of births.
Yeah.
It literally set everything
like a trauma.
off. It was.
It is a trauma.
And it's for women, it's an instantaneous, your life has changed. I'm not saying that some men don't feel that.
No.
But it is.
It's like a bit like a smack in the face as well sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's out of your control.
Yeah. And your body is not your body anymore.
No.
You cannot identify with your body. It doesn't feel like you.
No.
You've got someone, permanently attached to you. And it's just... So after I had my eldest, I unfortunately developed postnatal depression.
Oh.
But then unfortunately, it took about 6 months for it to be diagnosed.
Really?
So
Did you know?
No. So it opened up like a can of worms.
Yeah.
I was going to my doctors and I was told it's a baby blues. baby blues.
Totally always brush it off.
Yeah, but I was seen by male doctors. I don't have.
They don't understand it?
No, I don't actually have a female doctor. It's kind of like you ring your doctors and you get just put in
given,
with whoever's available. And I was just told it's the baby blues, or you're just a bit down because of the way the birth was, or, you know. So I was just kind of like, okay.
Brush it off.
My mum knew that something wasn't right. And then unfortunately it came to the point where I was having such extreme dark thoughts and also possible actions that even my husband then said,
this isn't right.
This isn't right.
Give me chills though.
I went to the GPs. I saw a female
Did you
doctor.
go with somebody else that time?
I went by myself, but with my little boy.
Yeah.
Who was 6 months. And the female doctor, she was just like, you've got
simple,
postnatal depression, if not depression and anxiety.
Oh my goodness.
And then that led to the whole, you know, we're going to refer you for counselling or cognitive behavioural therapy, which is incredible what is actually offered out there. But the waiting times are so extreme. And it's just, I was in a point where I had to go and
this
do
needs
something.
to be now.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah. We paid privately and I went to somebody, and it wasn't a great mix to begin with, but just after the first few sessions, I was able to actually identify that for most of my life, I've suffered with anxiety and not actually realised. Like that feeling that I've always had in the pit of my stomach
a reason.
is anxiety. I've just thought, oh, this is how you're meant to feel. Yeah, this is how you're meant to feel. Wow, it's a bit like, oh, wow.
It's a bit of shit, but...
Yeah. But I was actually told, no, that's anxiety, if not depression.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like, wow, okay then, right, we need to work on some things.
So you were really learning a brand new you.
Everything.
On top of everything else.
Everything. I mean, my childhood was fantastic. I had a great childhood. Mum and dad were incredible. It was actually what happened to me as I was like a teenager. So teenage trauma. I then didn't realise how it shaped me, even just who I am today. It completely changed my personality.
The way you do things.
The way I do things. And then unfortunately, that then made me think, I don't know if I can have any more pregnancies.
Yeah. If this comes every time.
Yes. But I was adamant that I didn't want him to be an only child. And I did, I'm not going to lie, I did have that feeling of, I want to try for a girl. You know what I mean? And it's
you do.
You can't. It's
just one of them things.
Anyone, please, nobody, people cannot say, oh, I'd never think like, no, there is a part of you that
don't want to admit it.
I'd love to have a girl. Or if you've got girls, you'd love to have a boy. At the end of the day, a healthy baby.
Yeah, you're happy. But
But, you know, in the back of your mind,
it's nice. It's the perfect, ideal thing we're sold.
But that's it. It's the 2.4 family. So I was like, no, I'm adamant. And also I felt that by having another child, hopefully, if it was a better experience, it would kind of
heal you a little bit as well.
Exactly. But during the second pregnancy, I was diagnosed with prenatal depression.
God.
And then I had postnatal depression after him. But by then I was already, because with all of my pregnancies as well, I went to the women's.
Okay.
The women's mental health team was incredible.
Oh, good.
So from the start of my second pregnancy, I was going to see them weekly. And I took antidepressants during my second pregnancy. And it was a lot better. But again, I could see the warning signs.
At least you kind of knew them. Did you find it easier then noticing it and getting the help you needed because you'd had it?
Yeah. I knew, right, something's, it's like you kind of,
it's coming.
It's like
snowballing type of.
It's like, I'm starting to feel that way. My body starts to feel this way. That's it. I'm going to go and start darkness.
Let's nip this in the bud now. Yeah. And thank God you have got that good support around you.
I know. My husband is fantastic. I mean, I understand that it can't be easy probably living with somebody or dealing with somebody on a regular occurrence that does have depression or anxiety.
Yeah.
But it has had its strain on our relationship.
I can imagine.
But, you know, 11
That's
years
what comes
married now.
Well,
we're still going strong, and it's just about trying to work together. But
yeah, and he's just got to understand how your brain works because it won't be the same as his.
No.
Finding what works for you.
Not at all. So with my my youngest, there's what, a 6-year age gap between my youngest son and then my daughter. That wasn't purposeful. So when COVID hit,
Yeah.
I was like, right, okay, I do think I'd like another baby now. Like,
Good.
and trying, nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then I did have a miscarriage, which it hasn't set me back. If you know, it's still something.
It could have been a big trigger.
It could have been a big trigger, but it wasn't. It kind of then made me go, right, do you know what? Pull back. Why are you forcing this?
Yeah.
And then in my brain, I was like, do you know what? It's just meant to be the 4 of us. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I started selling stuff, all the baby stuff from the loft.
And she sensed it.
The next minute, I was like, oh, I'm pregnant. And then, But, my pregnancy wasn't fun with my last. But since she's arrived, I feel like I've also motivated myself to do things to help with my mental health.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I need to get into fitness because fitness for me,
It's for you.
it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I'm also the kind of person I hate to put on other people. I hate to think, oh, can somebody look after the baby while I go to the gym? It's like,
It's a guilt.
I can't take that time for myself. And it is the guilt.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't
Deserve it. Which you do, you know, deep down, you know you do.
Yeah.
I'm the same. And you feel like you have to ask permission, which again is another. Or can it go, if I do go to the gym when someone has to look after her, I'm time watching.
Yeah.
And I can't enjoy it.
No.
And I'm like,
rush back to them.
And then if someone wants to talk in the gym, I'm like, no, not right now.
Yeah. And then
it's a stress.
And you get there and you go, oh, everything's all right. Actually.
Yeah.
But it's that stress that you put on yourself. And also that opinion of, well, people must think, God, like,
she's taking the piss.
she's taking the piss. Yes. That's exactly how I feel. So I was like, I need a gym class where I can take the baby.
Yeah.
And
there we were.
No, but I knew we are.
No, it's good. And that's why I do it, to open it up to mums who can't. I couldn't do it when Nala was born. I couldn't get the gym. I didn't get the gym for 8 months. And it was like, oh my God, you're a PT and you're not even going to the gym after you've had a baby. And I was really lucky that I lost my weight really quickly because I didn't think I was big during pregnancy until everyone used to say, wow, you're massive. And I'd be like, and I remember my nan went to me once, are you sure you're not having twins? And I was like, oh, I'm not that big, am I? Looking back, I had a big bump, that was it. But I hated my body after. I felt the pressure of like losing the weight, but I did lose weight quickly because of breastfed.
That's good.
Thank God it worked for us. I feel like we were really lucky with it. Yeah. But I just needed something. Like, I didn't like my body. I was slim. I had no muscle. I hated it. So I was like, I need to do something. So I started doing online boot camps. So I was working out from home. She was there watching Teletubbies.
Yes.
Like for 20 minutes, let me have something. And then I finally started class, and then I was like, okay, she can come with me. Yeah. This is perfect. And then it made it easier for other mums. And I also could meet mums who were going through exactly what I was going through.
Exactly.
And they'd be like, oh no, that's just a leap. That's just what they go through at this age. And I'd be like, okay, we're not like losing the plot.
No.
It's normal.
It's normal.
And that's one of the main things I love about the class, is that it's like a little community of mums, and like obviously most people come to like their set ones, and you get like a little group of mums.
Well, see, that's
and it's nice.
But also, I mean, for me, it was, I mean, sometimes the hardest thing sometimes is taking the first step.
Yeah.
So I was conscious. I remember the first time I was coming, I was running late because, of course, I had an explosive nappy on the way here. And I remember texting you going, I think I'm going to be 5 minutes late, thinking, that's it, I won't be able to, I can't come in. But you were like, don't worry. And then I arrived and you'd only just started the warm up. And it was like, there was no pressure. And I've always hated going to the gym as well, because I feel like people are looking at me.
Yeah.
Or I feel like if I make a mistake, I'm going to look like an absolute idiot. But it was just, it's like, no, go at your own pace. No mums are standing there looking at you, judging you. It's like you're all in the same boat kind of thing. And it's a group where you really just can be yourself. It's not one of these mums groups that I have been to mums groups in the past and it's just been like, oh, mine's sleeping through the night.
Judgy, yeah.
Or, you know, and they look like they've got freshly blow-dried hair. And I'm like, oh my God.
I can't
even remember when I last showered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So coming to these classes, it's just been like, do you know what? Amazing. I don't care what gym clothes you're wearing. I don't care if you've got makeup on or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and everyone also is looking out for everyone else's kids.
Yeah, that's what I love about the class.
It's, you know, the understanding, and it's kind of like we're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to do a box jump if it wasn't for you.
You know,
See?
doing higher.
That's
doing
it.
a higher one.
I know.
So.
And I was like, I can't do a box jump, and if I try it, everyone's going to look at me and laugh. And you're like, just do it 4 times, and again, did it.
So sometimes all you need, but you do need that safe space of being like,
yeah.
All the other mums here, they're not going to judge me. Because if you go to a gym and you don't want to try something new, because the last thing you want to do is humiliate yourself.
Well, that's it.
Which is probably not going to happen because I've been in the gym that I train in now. When I first went to try out, I'm a PT as well, so this is even worse. I went to try out the pull-up machine and my brain just must have melted. And I forgot that when you take the pin out, the seat is the weight. So the seat just fell on my back and I was mortified and I thought, I'm so glad nobody here knows I'm a PT because that is so embarrassing. But it happens to everybody.
Yeah. When you get into your own
feels
head.
the same, yeah. And not one person looked at me.
Nope.
I still left. I still left that area. Not the gym, but I left that area. I was like, I'm not going on that machine again.
No.
But yeah, at least in class, you've got like everyone is in the same boat. And, you know, I want everybody to feel comfortable and it's just a bit of chaos, but we all love it.
I mean, it's chaos, but it's like fun chaos.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
And you know that it's not just your case. And like if you're out at a restaurant and it's your child and it's like, yeah. But you know that if it's your child in class, there's also probably another 3 going through the same, or they will within the next hour.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
You're not alone.
No.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And it's really nice for me because none of them are mine. So I'm like, I don't mind it because it's not my kids.
It's not my kids.
So it makes it easier.
Exactly. And it's a safe space for them.
Absolutely.
Because even what I loved was as well is obviously my little girl, she is climbing everything now, or picking everything up, isn't she?
Yeah.
And to the point where even you were noticing and you would go around and you'd put like the dumbbells down.
Yeah, the kettlebells,
it's like anything that could possibly fall.
Yeah.
Put it down. And it was just like, I was loving that because I was like, great, I'm not having to, constantly keep my eyes on her or, have her next to me. But you can work out and watch your child, just explore.
And that's what I think is so important for them.
Yeah.
When have you ever been into a gym when you were a kid and explored it?
It's been, no, don't touch that. It's just been
off
still,
limits.
don't touch anything. And over half terms or when my other 2 have been sick, there was one point where I came with my 2 boys and my niece. So I had the 4 kids with me. That was absolute chaos.
It was chaos, but again, wasn't my chaos.
No, it was chaos, but I did get a sweat on and I was able to work out. And you've got my 2 older boys playing football around the little kids. And I was like, there is no place where I would ever be able to do this or feel comfortable to do this and know that you're not, like under your breath, like, oh my God.
Everyone's like, oh, look at them kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Which people do. And
probably
was us pre-kids. But
I've got to be honest, it probably would be.
But it's different once you have kids. You're like, as long as they're not crying, let them do what they want. And that's what I think. As long as all the kids are safe. Obviously, there's some things that are completely off limits, like the kids picking up really heavy weights and that.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously, if they want to pick up a small weight, they're doing it in a safe manner. They're not hurting anybody or themselves. I'm all for letting them explore because that's how they learn. They learn through exploring, and what a good place for them to learn. So, and I love that you love to bring them all, and they love coming back.
And that they love coming back. I mean, most of the time they are. Well, what were they doing? They put the boxing mitts on the last time, and they loved that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, I'll bring them and let them go on the iPad or the Switch.
But it depends on their mood as well.
Okay, that's it as well. And there's no judgment there.
No.
You know, I remember the first time I did bring my youngest son, and I was like, right, I'm going to take the iPad just in case. And I thought, oh my God, am I going to be seen as, you know, one of those moms that just throws a screen at my child? But then I was like, I love this, because once I arrived, there was actually other kids like walking around with their mum's phones or whatever. And we're all just kind of in the same zone where we're like, Jesus, if we need this
just
bit of time,
motherhood,
let's just give it to them. It's
if you're getting that bit of time for you, physically, mentally, emotionally, as a mum,
it's going to make you a better mum as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got to fill your own cup
before
you fill in your kids.
Yeah.
Because if you're overstimulated and like burnt out, they're not going to get the best version of you. And that's going to happen sometimes as well. Absolutely fine. But if you can help that, it's so much better.
Yeah.
So well done for coming. So have you not really worked out, did you work out pre-kids or not really?
Pre-kids, I was full on into Insanity.
Oh, I loved Insanity. I absolutely I miss that.
I know. So I was doing Insanity 7 times a week and loved it. Like, and it was all, especially like pre-wedding. I was like, pre-wedding. And then again, after I had my first, I was in this bubble of thinking, oh, I'm going to be able to do this and do that. And I'm not going to let a child change my routine. I was that person.
So was I.
And it's just
she's
like,
going to fit into all.
Oh, stop it. Yeah. That was it. And it's just like, wow, it was a huge wake up call.
Yeah.
Huge.
But in the best way.
Yeah. In the best way. But no, once the kids arrived, I can't say that I had a regular exercise routine at all.
It's hard. It is hard.
I was trying to do stuff in the house, but it's just...
Yeah. I started off in the house and I have to film online boot camps at home, and that is now the only reason I will work out at home, because I just cannot do it. I've got a spin bike at home, I've got a treadmill at home, I've got weights. I'm still trying to convince Josh to let me turn the garage into a gym. And I'm like, if it's the gym, I'll work out at home when I know I need to escape that place. So I can't even work out at peak. I can't work out at the gym. I can, but it's never a good workout because it's my work.
Yeah.
I just go to a gym that's got no ties to anything, get in, headphones in. That's my hour, 2 hours.
Amazing.
To me. And I feel like I can take on the world. And then I come home to a screaming 3-year-old and I'm like,
that's it. But you feel like that you've got more patience.
Yeah.
It's all like, honestly, what exercise does to the brain.
Amazing.
Even just a little bit. So even
just a walk.
And even if I'm very like, sometimes I'm like, well, there's been a few occasions where I've been like, I can't go to class. I've hardly slept. She's really grouchy. And then I go, no, do you know what? At least if I go, if like after 5-10 minutes, she's still not happy and I still don't feel it, I can leave. There's no
pressure.
Not going to be any, why are you leaving? Where are you going?
Yeah.
It's just do what's best for you. Yeah. So that's great, because again, it's just any movement. And normally once you start working out, you're like, oh, actually.
You get the bug.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, and it's good to be around other mums as well like that. And so with your postnatal, did you get it with the third? Did you say?
Yeah.
So then did you find that fitness has helped that?
Yeah. Big time.
Have you had counselling since then?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Yeah. But
you can manage it better now.
No, I mean, I go through bouts of thinking, right, I'm going to start with the antidepressants because I feel great.
But that's because they're working.
Exactly.
So at least they're doing their job.
Yeah. And there's so much pressure when it comes to mental health, and I hate calling it mental health.
Yeah.
Just the word mental in itself is not great.
Not good.
So brain health.
I do love
brain
that.
Brain health. I know for my brain health, I need antidepressants. I just need them. And maybe in the future, when life isn't as stressful, then maybe it might make a difference. But right now, like if I had a heart problem, I'd take medication.
Well, exactly. So it is an imbalance in the body.
Yeah.
And you need to balance it out.
Yeah.
And if that's the way it's got to be. And I do think there's a massive like stigma against taking medication. But as you say, if you had a heart problem or a blood pressure problem or anything, you'd take the tablet without. If you've got a headache, you're going to take a paracetamol. If you've got a cough, you're going to take, So
big time.
Why should it be any different when that is really more important because that's, well, as you say, it's your brain health.
It is.
It does matter.
I found since having my third, I don't know whether it's me now being more comfortable in the position as a mum, or just now I'm in the position where, can I swear?
Yep.
I don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm very much like, I'm now going to say what I think or do what I want to do. And I'm going to try so consciously not to let other people's opinions of me stop me from doing or saying something. Yeah. I remember after I had my second, I met a mum friend at classes and things, and I got to a point where I was like, I feel like I can open up to this person. Yeah. And I told her how I was feeling, and it was as if I was telling her the most horrific things in the world.
Really?
And she just didn't get it. And and it wasn't that I was craving her support, but I was in a position and in a moment where I was like, I need to talk to somebody about these emotions and these thoughts, because I need to know that they're either
someone else,
or I do really need to go and get some help.
Yeah.
And she looked at me like I had two heads. So that then
probably made you worse.
Which did make it worse. But then also I was like, well, do you know what? Sometimes you're not gonna.
Not everyone's gonna get it. You've got to find your people that do.
Exactly. And
it doesn't make her like not good friends or anything. It's just that she just doesn't understand it. And it's very lucky for her that she's never felt that, and you wouldn't probably never put it on anybody. Yeah. You would never pass this bit to anyone.
I would never. I mean, becoming a parent is hard enough.
Yeah.
But adding in extra things like this, it's not. I would never wish it upon anybody because it's consuming.
Yeah.
But you've just got to make sure that you've got the right help, and don't be afraid to ask for help, and also don't be afraid to say what you're thinking.
Yeah, voicing it.
Well, yeah,
you're safe, people.
I went through moments of thinking, if I tell somebody this, they're probably going to think I'm an unfit mum, and they'll take my kids off me.
That's a big fear, because it's not spoken about really enough.
No.
So because I've witnessed it firsthand when one of my friends had postnatal. And she said, I'm scared if I tell you, you're going to think I hate my child. I don't want to hate my child. She said,
that's it.
That is the complete opposite. She said, I'm really sad and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And she just couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
So thankfully there is the help out there. It's just the waiting, obviously, that's hard.
And it's about how you access it. But you've got to find your people.
Yeah.
And I think now, I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older or because I've now got 3 kids and I'm just like, whatever, take me as I am. I'm very much like, being a mum is incredible, but don't get me wrong, it's shit at times.
It is.
I miss who I was before kids.
Yeah.
And I would never have said that years ago, because I'm like, I can't say that, because then people will think that I don't like being a mum.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's not that. It's okay to, and I want more mums to know it's okay to say, I'm not enjoying this right now.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying the here and now.
You're not meant to enjoy every second.
Minute.
And that's what I hate, enjoy every minute. It's like, no, you can't enjoy every minute.
Don't enjoy 2s and 3s when they're toddlers.
Yes, I know, enjoy every minute. No.
I know, I think that when Nala's having a tantrum, I'm like, not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this as much as she's not.
There you go.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It is really. And I've only got 1. So hats off to you with 3.
Yeah, what have I done?
So how do you find the age gap? Do you think it's easier because the boys are older?
In some ways it's easier, and in some ways it's not. Like, my 2 boys are football obsessed and like any kind of sports obsessed. So pretty much every day of the week there's always something. So I do feel like a lot of the time she is just in and out of the car, being dragged here, there and everywhere, which I'm very guilty about.
She'll have her time.
But but then there's other times where she kind of like gets involved with them, or she's actually picking up skills.
Yeah.
Like, she's really good at dribbling a ball. And I'm just like, and then when she scores a little goal, it's yay.
Yeah.
But the main things that I feel that I really have to think about is, like, if I go on days out with the kids, what my older kids like and enjoy is going to be completely different to her.
Yeah.
So while my eldest are at school and I'm not working, that's when I consciously would be like, right, I'm going to take you to the soft play because I can't bring you here with your brothers kind of thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff that we do is outdoors. And I'm just very much like, do you know what? There's a spare clothes in the car at all times.
Yeah, let them explore and learn through that way. It's the best way.
Yeah.
Good. That's what you want. Mm-hmm. It's really. How are the boys with her? Are they good?
Amazing.
Good.
Eldest is just incredible with that, but also to the point where I'm like, please put her down or stop
I know
doing
you love
that.
Her, but you suffocate her.
Just like take a step back. And then my youngest son, at the beginning of this year, was diagnosed with autism.
Yeah,
and it's as if having her around, he shows her a lot of affection that we don't really get ourselves.
How bad?
But he's very much, he like loves hugging her, loves trying to kiss her like on the cheek and things, has to say good night to her and good morning to her every day. Whereas with us, it's very much, sometimes you have to ask like permission.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's.
But that must be lovely to see. If you're not getting it, at least you know it's in there.
I know it's in there.
And he's projecting it all on her, which is what you'd rather than him be frosty to her.
Exactly.
Like, because she's learning that from her older brother. Yeah. That's gorgeous.
It's as if, I know that I feel as if like they're going to have like a little bond.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, she's already got them wrapped around a little finger.
Good girl.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So I'm looking forward to like the teenage years.
Yeah, no boyfriends allowed.
Oh my gosh, I know. But no, the three of them are amazing together. The two boys are constantly at each other.
That's just
like
siblings.
Arguing or bickering.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do you know what? I'm like, when you're older, you'll love each other.
Enjoy every moment.
Enjoy every moment, yeah. Fighting over football cards. I'm like, oh my God.
But at least they do like the same things as well.
Yeah.
So that helps. Do they go to like the same club? So is it one drop off or is it one's one time and one's another?
Because age difference, it tends to be they do the same thing, but they're in the different age brackets. So one's 6 till 7, one's 7 till 8. I'm literally just apparently in the car. But I always try and remind myself, what would I rather be ferrying them around all these activities where they can, experience different sports or, activities in themselves to help them grow? Or would I just rather be sitting at home,
in front of the telly or annoying each other or...
Yeah. That's it.
Not getting stimulated.
Exactly. And that's the motivation for me as well. Because don't get me wrong, sometimes when I'm stood on that football pitch, I'm like,
what
I would much rather be at home. But then I just think, right, well, if like it could shape who they are as they get older. Like they could actually find that they really love a specific thing.
Yeah.
But if they're not doing it.
Yeah. Plus the learning teamwork, communication, everything else on top.
That's it.
So respect, it's all good. It is. My mum was the same. So I'm one of 3, but I'm one of 3 girls, and all 3 of us used to dance. And I'm the youngest, so she'd take me to dancing, and then as she picked me up, she'd drop off the middle.
Yeah.
And then as she picked up the middle, she'd drop off the oldest. So her, and that was like 5 days a week. Like it was full on. And she said, "Thank God for my nan," because she'd just drop us off, and she'd be feeding us while my mum's carting us back and forth.
I know.
But she said, like, to see how much we enjoyed it was just worth everything. Like, and you put everything into your kids, don't you?
Well, you do.
So,
you do. And I mean, there's never, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm like, I hope like they appreciate, like when they get older.
They will.
I hope they can look back and appreciate all of this. Because right now, I mean, kids are kids.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have moments and you think, bloody hell, like, why am I doing all this? But it's, again, me personally, I like to tell myself, and when I see my friends or other mums, I'm like, no, do you know what? That makes you a good mum.
Yeah.
You are. You're sacrificing things for your kids.
Yes.
And I think also if you worry about whether or not you're a good mum or not, it tends to be that you're a good mum.
Someone once said to me, if you're always worrying about what you can do better, and if something needs improving, you are improving.
You are.
Because you're trying to find ways to better yourself.
Yeah.
So I've always thought about that since that person said it to me.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, actually, that's right. So when you are having that little worry, it's from a good A good part of your
It's from a
brain
good part of your brain.
that cares about you.
Exactly. Well, it takes a village to
Doesn't
raise
it
kids.
just?
It does. There's no, I mean, and well, I know I'm probably a little bit older than you, but
Only 3 years.
this whole generation of, you know, like being brought up in the 90s or the 2000s, and it's like women are suddenly given the power of, you can do everything, you can do everything, you can do this, you can do this, you know, but it's now got to the point where it's like, I feel there's a huge pressure on women to work as if they don't have kids,
And have kids
and then
as if they
have
don't
kids
work.
as if they don't work.
Yep.
And it's like, actually, you can't do it all, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
It's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal to not.
yeah.
But when like the older generations, they had the kids full time, it's because they could live off one wage.
Exactly.
No,
They're not
you
in the
can't.
current, you
Yeah.
know, economic
Yeah.
crisis that we're in right now. Exactly. And the cost of living is,
Ridiculous.
most households,
Yeah.
there are 2 people working.
And it's still a struggle.
It's still a struggle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you've got your own business, obviously, haven't you?
Yeah.
So how do you find that with having the 3 kids?
So I used to work for companies, and when my youngest son was 1, I suddenly could see things
Yeah.
properly, and I was like, what am I doing? I was in a managerial position that I loved my job, but I was in a position where 1 week I actually did over 60 hours 1 week, and that was only working 4 days a week. Yeah.
Wow.
And it became an issue at home, like my husband
Yeah.
identifying that I wasn't at home, or that, you know, I was dropping the kids off at nursery at literally 7 a.m. and I was getting home and they were already in bed.
Yeah. You miss a lot.
Yeah. And then when I was off, I was still like on call. I was answering emails or taking phone calls, because to me, I was like, oh no, they need me. They need me. Like,
Literally me right now.
my job needs me. Yeah. And then, a light bulb moment. And I was like, right, no, do you know what? I need to, it was thinking, when they go to school, I'm not going to be able to take them. I'm not going to be able to pick them up. It's like
Missing out.
That's it. I mean, school in itself, you feel as if that's a full-time job. The amount of emails and things that you get when your kids start going to
Things you've got to remember.
Oh my gosh. But very much as well, I mean, I understand it's so difficult, but schools do offer a lot for kids, but you tend to find that, like, they'll just send you an email and be like, oh, next Tuesday you can come into school at between 1 and 3 or straight after school to do this or to look at that or to experience this with your child. And it's like, well, if I worked 9 till 5, I couldn't do that. And I do feel for parents who can't do those things. But then I consciously took a step back from a salary that I could rely on to opening my own business and starting from nothing. And then,
which is hard.
Which is hard. Yeah. And then COVID hit. I was forcibly closed 3 times because of COVID.
3.
So the lockdowns, couldn't work.
Yeah.
And then it's like rebuilding the business. But I work around my children to a degree.
Yeah.
I still do drop off. Sometimes I don't do pick up. Grandparents thankfully do.
Thank God, yeah.
And then I work a lot of weekends, which is family time. But then also I try and remind myself, well, actually, in the week, I'm there for them. Yeah. If, you know, it's like...
It's give and take, isn't it? It's hard.
You can't...
You will never be happy.
No.
And it's a little bit of mum guilt as well.
Yeah.
It is, because I was going to drop weekend work, and then I was like, I've got clients that can only do that day, and I'm not willing to cancel them.
No.
They've been really loyal to me for however long. And I do actually really like sometimes just having a little Saturday morning, couple of hours, and letting Nana and Josh have a bit of time together that they probably don't get, because I get a lot more time with her, because he works a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Obviously, breadwinner.
Yeah.
It's the pressure as well for him, which is a big thing. He can't just take a couple of days off, because that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Whereas I can shape my hours around when she's in preschool and nursery and with my mum or whatever. So, you've just got to kind of make it work.
You have to make it work.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have to. And then just smile as you're doing it and
Yeah.
just pretend that
Put on your client
easy.
customer service face.
Just smile on, act like everything's fine, and
Yeah.
you know, you haven't got a million and one other things to do. Because it's well, I like to call it life admin. I mean, you're a mum, you're a business owner, like, but then you're a daughter, you're a friend, you're a partner. And then on top of that, you've then got life admin. And it's like,
It's hard.
it's hard.
Yeah, one thing I've found really hard since having her is seeing my friends. So I used to just pop for tea to my mates, like all the time, or like pop round to my cousins, and it's just not easy.
Nope.
I don't know how many people I've probably said to in the past month, yeah, we'll definitely get that catch up in.
Stop it. Yeah.
I actually said it this morning in Tesco.
Yeah.
And she was like, we've been saying we're going to catch up for ages. Like, I know, it's just life at the minute.
But as you're saying it, you know, it's not going to happen.
But you just feel like you have to say it.
I know.
And people, I'm like, you have to get a date in my diary because otherwise it's not happening.
That is like, not, we need to, no. If it needs
literally.
to be put in.
And
exactly.
I have a written diary because I cannot just have a digital diary. So if it's not in my written diary, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So if you want me, book me in.
Yes, exactly. No, that's it. But it's, you need to schedule. You need to schedule things in. But I'm the same. I have to, pen to paper, it has to be written down in that way.
And it can't be in pencil because you can rub it out.
There you go.
It's got to be in pen.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It is hard, really hard. But one thing I found is she's just started preschool. So obviously she's got her hour, like her 30 hours. So we split them between preschool and nursery. Mm-hmm. So she goes to preschool a full day Monday, but then she does 3 half days, which is mornings.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, that's great. I can work all these hours because she's getting all these hours. And then someone went, what about like just having a little bit, 3 hours to you? And I was like, I can't do that.
No.
And they were like, but why?
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, actually, yeah, I can. Mm-hmm. So I try and now give myself like 2 dedicated mornings off, unless, say, like something, we were going on holiday or something and I needed to squeeze clients, and I don't mind that way. Yeah. But I need that time just to like not only catch up with the house, just sometimes do nothing.
Yeah. Catch
up with my programs.
Exactly.
Just do what I want to do.
No, that's it. And that's, I could never do that. And it wasn't until I did CBT, so cognitive behavioural therapy, and what they'd make me do is every week I'd have to basically create like a diary or a weekly planner of like, right, this is what I'm going to do next week. And then the therapist would say to me, right, well, where in next week can you give yourself not an hour, but just start with half an hour? And I'm literally sitting there going, I can't.
Like
I
making
can't.
you itch.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like hyperventilating. Yeah. I cannot. And she's like, you're saying you cannot, but could you? Why? Yeah. Because there's so much other things to do. And then she honestly kept saying to me, and I can still hear her now, like all the time. She's like, there's always going to be something to do. And you have got to put yourself on the priority list. Yeah. Because I am at the bottom. I'll say that I am. And sometimes I'm like, right, no, I need to do something. But then you have the guilt of, well, do I deserve this? Am I, I've got other stuff to be doing. Should I be doing this? But that
will never end though. There's like a voice in your head will probably never switch off.
No.
Because I'm the same.
Yeah.
Like, or I could be, like if we watch a program together and I'm like, well, I could be doing this, I could be doing dishes, could be doing the washing, there's like a million, just could be replying to people. So what I've tried to start doing now as well is I used to be so accessible and just answer replies all the time.
Yes.
And I really struggle to not, but sometimes I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm like, right, it's 9 p.m.
No.
You can have a reply at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Business hours. Mm-hmm. I don't need to. Because of what I found I was doing at the beginning of the year was I'd go to the gym, I'd do my hour of weight and I'd go on the treadmill for half an hour and I'd do admin on the treadmill. And then I was like, I'd love it. But then I was like, I'm not actually working hard. I'm just walking really slowly on a treadmill doing admin, which I could be doing at home. Mm-hmm. So I stopped and I just try not to do it now. And that workout time is for me. And now I absolutely love training again. Good. And that's what you need. Yeah. And I need that little bit of time in the morning, sets me up for the day.
Yeah.
Get them in Monday to Friday. What I aim to do is get them in Monday to Friday, and then I've got the weekend to just enjoy. If I want to do extra, I can. Don't have to.
No, that's it.
And you have got it. That's important as well. For mums, you've got to schedule in your workout. Like, so if the class is booked, that's why I do always try and
You're like,
say, push a month, book a month. And then you feel like, oh, if I'm booked on, I will definitely go to it because I've paid for it.
Well,
and we know what maternity pay is like.
Well,
So,
yeah.
Or you don't get it.
Well, yeah. No, that's it. It has to be. I'm like written diary. If it's in the diary, it's like it has to be done. Like do you know like how household things can get on top of you, and you're like, when was the last time I changed those sheets, or when was the last time I did that? I even start writing that down, like in the diary.
Oh, okay. Like, see, I've got a friend who does that, and she puts in change the bedding, and it's on a set day.
There you go. Like in certain months. Yeah. So, well, I do it like, so every, I know, some 2 weeks may seem excessive or not enough. But if it's in the diary, it's like
scheduled. Yeah.
Scheduled. And I'm very much like notes orientated.
Yeah.
I need like a list of to do, and then I get through it. But if I just flit about throughout the day going, well, I do need to do this. If it's not written down, like, it's as if like my brain can wander, and I'll be like, well, I'll go and do that instead. Or, you know.
Maybe that's what I need to do.
I think
get a list.
And if it's set, I find like, there you go.
Because you always find as well, say like my worst thing is putting the washing away. I hate putting the washing away.
Piles on the floor. You're like, which is dirty, which is clean.
Our spare room is just like, it's either spotless or it's our laundry room. Yes. And I'm like, I know when to start it. It won't really take me that long, but looking at it, it's like
daunting.
Yeah, I can't do it.
You don't know where to start.
No. And it's dead easy. Yeah. But it's just even easier to just throw it close the door.
But then when you do finally do it, you feel so amazing.
My God, yeah. You're like, I know, but I feel like I clean my spare room once a month, like deep clean it. Yeah. Like, God, I think what we're going to do when we have another kid and there's no spare room, where's it all going to go?
Yeah.
So, it's fun. It is never ending though as a mum. It's like your brain's on constant.
Yep.
All the things you've got to do.
So, so it's easy to realise how the person you were before, it has kind of like you miss them.
You're never going to be that person. Until the kids have gone off to uni or like to live their life.
Yeah,
and that's when your life will calm down again. Yeah. And that makes me quite sad though. The thought of it, but it's one of them, isn't it? And you are a different person.
You are, and just to add to that as well, obviously, when your kids do what you say, fly the nest or whatever. I mean, this is what I find hard, because so with my eldest, he's got one more year and then he finishes primary school. Oh. And sometimes I get fixated of this whole thing, like within the 6 weeks holiday, like you only get 18 summers with them. Right. Like I fell into that, and I was like, oh, I need to make the most of it. We need to do all this. We need to do that. But then it's like, actually, no, you don't get 18
years
with them. Like, you're going to see them for the rest of their lives, if they live locally.
Yeah.
And then somewhat, I actually probably see my mum now.
I see my mum so much.
Yeah, more than
my mum can't get rid of me.
That's the same. And it's like, no, but also make sure that you schedule in time for like you and your partner.
Yeah, massive one.
Because otherwise,
we struggle.
When we don't. No, well, you don't. But realizing that and knowing, right, we need to do something together, or just like a few hours together. Because when your kids do grow up, like so many people that I know of, that they do kind of then realize, actually, we've got nothing in common anymore.
We don't know each other anymore.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah. It's hard, even like, so to me, us having a bit of time together, it was like sitting on the couch and watching telly. Yeah. And he's like, no, let's like actually go out for food. Yes. I'm like, yeah, but with that, it's all the other things involved, like having to get her watched and like getting there and dressing up. I'm like,
I know, like, do I need to wash my hair? Where are we going? What do I need to wear? But then also can we afford it?
Yeah.
That's it. Or like, can we justify? It's like, I don't want to spend that.
But you can't justify it because you need it.
Because you need it. But a lot of the time you're like, well, we can't spend that on ourselves.
No,
but then you'll go somewhere and see a million things for your kids, and you just
buy every outfit, every possible Christmas and birthday dress and everything.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Like how we do prioritize them.
Yeah. But again, I like to think that just shows
How much you care.
how much you care.
Yeah. But do you think that gets better as well as the kids get older? Because obviously with your first, I've only had one, but Nala needed to have everything. Like every different Christmas outfit. She had a Christmas outfit every day, like a brand new one. And there was, looking back, it's so unnecessary. I was really lucky. My sister had a baby girl 10 months before I had Nala. So we got everything handed down.
That's amazing.
Saved us so much money.
Yeah.
So, and I'd still spend loads. So there is also that pressure of, well, they've got to have a new outfit for Christmas and they've got to be in the best. And
yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard, but also it's, who are you doing it for?
An Instagram picture. It is.
I mean,
it's like pumpkin picking.
Well, it is.
It's never fun to go pumpkin picking. But everyone puts up a picture like me and my family with them all smiles.
Well, I'd like to put my hand up and say, honestly, we've never gone pumpkin picking because I know how it would end up. And I know for myself mentally, I can't do it.
Not worth it.
And it's not worth it. And also, my kids aren't missing out because guess what? They've never been given it.
It's horrendous. So, I took Nala when she was 3 months old because what else do you do with a 3-month-old but go to a field? And my mum was saying the other day, oh, should we go pumpkin picking? But I'll buy them from Aldi and I'll put them in the boot and we'll just go for a picture. And I was like, yeah, but why do we need to?
Yeah.
I'll get a picture outside in front of. But it's the pressure of, oh, well, everyone else is doing this, we've got to do it.
Yeah.
And I do love, I'm all for like a holiday festivity.
Yeah.
I absolutely do love it.
Yeah.
So I am guilty of that.
Yeah. You know.
But it is nice to have them pictures because when you look back of your childhood and you see any pictures like that.
That's it. But I miss the whole actual like photograph in your hand.
Yeah.
It's like, because looking on your phone, it's not the same.
Well, there's too many.
There's too many. And also it's too easy for you to alter it. And it's like, that's not real life. I personally, I only really use my Instagram for my business. And I have to be honest, I probably haven't posted anything for a hell of a long time. I don't have a great relationship with Instagram or Facebook, to be honest. I found that I would doom scroll and then I would then be very much like, I would be like, well, I'm not good enough because I'm not doing that.
I don't look like that.
I don't look like that, so that's not good enough. And even though I do follow some people on Instagram who are like very influential with regard to body image and how to like actually just be like, how you look is perfectly fine. And also this whole trying to just say, listen, these models don't look like that or whatever. They don't. But I still very much can fall into the trap of like, well, for me, it was coming down to businesses. I'd see other businesses doing similar things to me and I'd be like, well, look, they look so busy, but why aren't I?
Because you don't post the quiet. I've been through it and I'd be like, oh, I can't post a class if it's quiet. And then I thought, you know what? I can post a class if it's quiet because it probably appeal to other people who don't want a busy class.
Exactly.
So no one's posting their bad. No one's posting their kid having a tantrum. No one's posting when they look horrendous. Like, it's all a fictional reality, isn't it?
And it's just hoping that you come across or that you know people that are like-minded and get that.
Yeah.
Because I personally, I think, well, who am I doing things for?
Yeah.
Is it for me or is it for other people's perceptions of me? And then again, is it the age or is it the 3 kids? I get to a point now where I go, I don't care what people think of me. If you don't like me for who I am, if you can't take me at my worst,
you don't deserve
me at my best. And it's like, actually, and I'm now at a position where I'm like, I've got my friends and that's great. And I don't have millions of friends. I have like,
no, I don't.
2 close female friends. And then like some other people that I'd be like, oh yeah, they're a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not. It's like, that's fine. You don't need millions of friends.
No. And you learn that as you get older.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, you're like, yeah, I've got loads of friends.
That's it.
But then as
when
you have
you're
kids,
younger, having friends is like your life.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
That's what you rely on. Because if you don't have a partner, as you have kids, you also realise who your true friends are.
Yes.
And who's going to make the effort. And I get, one thing me and Josh have learned is that some people are just in completely different chapters of their lives and we have to remember that as parents. But then there are also people that just don't get us anymore because we're parents and we don't live the life that we lived pre-kids.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing because like mourning a loss of a friendship, they're just not, it's like you say when people aren't the same after the kids have flown the nest, people aren't the same once you've had kids because they're living a different life and that's fine. And I want them to live the best and you don't want to hold each other back. So we found that our friendships changed a lot when we had Nyla.
Yeah.
And I've found some of the most amazing, especially through class, I found some amazing mums.
You go. That's it.
And I know there's a lot more people that I could message and probably tell them a lot more and feel safer around them.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
And that's what you need.
And exactly because I think it is an age thing.
It's definitely
as you get older, you do very much just think, oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, because I used to post, I used to be the person that would go out with the camera on a night out and be like, take loads of pictures, it's on a Facebook album.
Yeah.
And now I'll take loads of pictures and then I just forget to post them.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? But because I put everything on Instagram into my business, like I post every day, I'm posting stories, constantly I'm replying. I completely neglect my personal, but the people who matter sent it.
They know what's going on. And
if
you're like,
they're sent in a WhatsApp or we've got like group chats with families, friends. If there's anything important, they know. They're not waiting for a post.
No.
So that's it. It's pushed back. It's nice though. I do like to have it there. So that I can look back because when I first had Nala, I used to post loads of stories of her, and now I love that because it'll remind me, and it's like I don't need to scroll through my photos to see and like seeing her hit all her milestones again, and it's lovely.
Nice. Yeah.
So that's why I'll never delete all my millions and millions of photos on Facebook. They're hidden.
They're hidden. But yeah. No, well that's it.
But
that's it. But no, exactly what you said. People who are close to you, they will know what's going on in your life and they don't need to see it through social media.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, I hold my hands up and go, it's not my thing at all. And it's fine. There's no judgment for anyone else that does. I mean, I've got one friend who I've actually met through work.
Yeah.
She's a client of mine. And now we've got this amazing friendship. And we seem to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And she has an older son. And it's just, she puts everything on Instagram. But I look at her and go, that's amazing. Like, I do envy her in a way that she has the confidence to do that.
Yeah.
But I know that as her personality and who she is, she doesn't do it to boast about what she's got. She does it as like a memory. So that she's like...
It's like banking it.
Well, exactly. But whenever she posts things, I love the fact that you're aware that it is never like to rub it in anyone's face or look at what I've got kind of thing. Because she actually puts like hard days on there as well, which I'm like, even like I have a lot of hard days myself, but I would never have the confidence to actually post it. Yeah. Because it's, you think, how will this...
It's the fear of how it'll be taken as well.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And it is good. It's good that we have loads of people who are being a lot more open. So I try and be more open about, like, I really struggle with how I look at my body. And I think that's from, like, a childhood of dancing, always being in front of a mirror, always being told I was a bit too big, which I never was. But that's obviously altered me. And now I'm trying to be a bit more vulnerable and letting people know. And I'm still not fully there. When you see these Instagram accounts like, oh, you've got rolls, and they squeeze the belly.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Yeah, don't think I'd be doing that.
No, not there.
Because the fear of putting something like that up. But
no, that's it. No, I'm the same. It was when I was a teenager. I was very body conscious. I became very body conscious, and I remember that for me, when I was growing up, I was a heavy baby, very chubby. And then as I became like a teenager, I got taller. And then it's as if like I then slimmed down a bit, but I was always known as Thunder Thighs. Now,
oh my God.
And that still to this sits. My main issues in myself are my thighs, my legs, my bum. And it's like, why do my knees, like, I feel like I've got fat knees. And I'm like...
We sound insane when you say it out loud, doesn't it?
I look at people's knees and go, wish I had their knees. And I'm like, what the hell? But then I have people say to me, like, sometimes like, oh, I wish I had, like, your arms. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Like,
but you can't see
when I wave.
How they look at you.
that's it. And it is.
It's a perception.
It is. It's the voice inside you that sometimes you do have to just be like,
yeah. And it is also the telly and the stuff we've been brought up with, the media and how horrendous.
Remember magazines?
Yeah.
Like in the 90s.
I
it
loved
was like,
them.
look how fat she is.
And she was a size 10.
Yeah. Or like I remember, for me, I specifically remember it was like Jessica Simpson when she was wearing like a pair of high-waisted denim jeans and they're like, look how fat she is. And it's like, she's probably like a size 10.
Yeah.
That's not
at most.
Fat. Yeah.
Well, Bridget Jones.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, that's not fat. No. It's
No.
like, oh my God.
She's ideal. It's quite scary, but that's obviously how we've been trained. Not like trained, but you know what I mean? What we've been seeing
in the
our
90s,
whole lives. 90s, noughties. And like, it was just toxic.
I mean, look at the Spice Girls. I was obsessed with the Spice Girls. Posh Spice for me was, I was like, I want to be Victoria Beckham.
Yeah.
So it was like, look how thin she is.
I need to be there.
Well, they were all so thin, and also highlighting, I was speaking to my friends about this the other day. Remember the Special K diet?
Oh my God, yeah.
I was fully invested in that.
No.
How is that normal? It's not.
It wouldn't get away with it now.
No. And it's like, well, how could you get away with it back then?
You could get, but do you not remember when there was like super size versus super skinny?
Oh, God.
And you just literally swap a diet as if that's going to solve somebody's eating disorder.
Yeah.
And that's just the way they thought.
Yeah.
I remember there was Fat Friends as well, like a program literally, and programs about slimming, slimming clubs, everything. And it's just, they got away with it. And looking back now with the world we're in now, it baffles my brain.
Yeah.
But that's how we've grown up and that's what we've known our whole lives.
And that's what we've got to like reprogram ourselves to know actually.
Reteaching yourself.
It is.
How to and not always. I think I've been on a diet since I was about 12.
Yeah.
And it's quite scary to look at it that way.
So with the way that the relationship that you have with food, how does that make you feel with regards to Nyla?
So I try not to like speak about being fat or being on a diet or needing to be skinny or lose weight in front of her. So whenever I weigh people in work and stuff and she's there and she wants to step on the scales, I'm like, right, let's see how big your muscles have gotten. I'm just trying to offset everything. So the other week, Josh picked her up and he went, oh, you're getting heavy. And I was like, oh, please don't call her that. And I said, it's not you doing wrong. Because he was like, well,
no.
Why, are we not allowed to say that? And I said, no, it's just... I know she's only 3, but it starts as a girl.
So young.
I was like, you just can't, and I'm not nitpicking at him at all. No. But he was like, it's educating. Yeah. Because I've probably been called heavy. I used to be told I had big thighs, big bum, big hips, and I never. And it's like, so it does, you carry that with you your whole life.
Yeah.
I remember once, and my sister will hate me for saying this, but my sister told me that I had a big nose. And I never, ever thought I had a big nose until that day. And I now hate my nose. We were talking about it recently. And she was like, no, I'll never, ever live that down. I'm so sorry. She went, I'll buy you a nose job if you want me to. Because the guilt, obviously, things you say to your sister when you're a teenager. She was like, no, she said, I don't think I'll ever forgive myself for saying that to you and making you think it's right because you've really got nothing wrong with it. But ever since then, I'm like, I've got a big nose.
No. And it's
scary because a little comment.
And it's like the power of words.
Scary.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But can I say one thing? Whenever I love all of your reels, I love all of your stories and your posts and things, not only because of your confidence in doing it, but also when I look at you, I think not only are you a strong woman, but your body is incredibly strong. And like, you've got an amazing body. Like personally, I would strive for my body to be like yours. And I know that people say to me all the time, like, you're so tall. Like, I'd love to be tall. But being tall was an issue for me when I was younger. Yeah. And then when I was a teenager, I went through the whole phase of, right, if you just skip meals, then I'll lose weight or I'll stay slim. And I'm a grown woman now and I still have that mentality. Like, I can't have 3 meals a day.
Drummed into us.
Yeah. If I
have a big lunch, I can't have a tea.
There you go. If I have breakfast, I'm not going to have lunch. And then for dinner, I'll just see if I'm hungry.
Yeah.
But then I'll then go through phases of, I'll just be like snacking on shit.
That's me 24/7.
And it's like, but now I have, and if it's not great for me to say it in this way, but when I had my boys, it was not ever something that I was conscious of passing on to them.
Yeah,
But
it's
now I've
different
got a
with a girl.
daughter, I'm very aware of, I would
Everything.
never want to see her look in the mirror and like grab herself and go,
yeah.
"Ugh, look at that." Or, you know,
Yeah.
or be like, I can't eat that because then, you know, I'm over.
Yeah. I need to do this many burpees to eat this.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't eat that because it's so many points.
Oh, don't get me started.
I know.
No.
And who is all of this aimed at as well? I mean, I am very grateful that the, you know, like things are as they are. Like it's getting a lot better. It is. We've still got a hell of a long way to go, but I do think that that's like generational things being passed down.
Yeah.
But there's a lot, I feel, with the way that Instagram or social media is, it's also so easy to change yourself.
Too easy without knowing.
Yeah. And then that then leads to even more body dysmorphia. Or like it leads down the route of then people thinking, I have to have surgery, or I have to look like that celebrity in order to be, you know,
worthy.
Yeah. And
again goes back to who you're doing it for.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned since having Nyla is that I don't care. As long as I'm healthy, fit, getting stronger, and, you know, the people around me like me, it doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter what the others think. Or some days I feel like that, but most days. But I'm getting better at it because I used to be really conscious of like walking into a room with every single person as if I was the main character.
Well, exactly. As if everyone heads turn.
Yeah, but that's in my brain. That's how it was.
No.
And it was like, well, everyone's going to look and think, oh, she's bloated. And I've never looked at someone once and thought, oh, she's bloated.
Exactly.
Why does it matter?
Exactly.
Why does it even matter?
Or there's, do you have an expectation that people look at you as a PT and think, she can't be a PT?
Yeah. Because I've heard that. I've heard other people say, oh, she can't be a PT when she looks like that. And I've seen, and I'm like, oh, so okay, that must be what you think of me. So especially felt that after having Nyla.
No.
Because I didn't go back to exercise and I thought I can't step in the gym when you go, obviously you're weaker. I hadn't lifted weights or anything. That's why I started at home because I thought, and at first when I went to my gym, I didn't let anybody know I was a PT. I'd like keep my head down. I'd make sure I didn't post anything anyway because I thought they think I'm a PT, they're going to look at what I'm doing. And now I'm like, no, actually, I want you to know I'm a PT and I want you to know that, you know, I've got a successful business and if you ever need help, that I'm here.
Exactly. And this is what I stand for.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what you look like. And it really is just moving. It doesn't matter. Every body shape is so different. Yeah. And it's not everyone is going to be able to look like that perfect PT that is on social media that's most likely airbrushed. Or, you know what I mean? They've then probably got like a personal chef and thing. It's
not, but also you could follow my exact diet, routine, everything to a T, and your genetics would never match up with mine.
Exactly.
So you can, like, I used to have clients come to me and they'd say, I want to look like this. And I said, well, you can't look like that because that's hair genetics. Yeah. It's probably also not hair. It's hair posed in good lighting, dehydrated so you can see your abs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's
so it is when I take a morning gym selfie, which I have to take every time I
love it. Yes.
But I haven't eaten that morning and I've just done an hour and a half of workout. So I look very different then to whoever posted 9 p.m. when I'm in my PJs going to bed.
That's it.
So I obviously don't post that.
No.
But I could if I wanted.
Well, you could if you want. Yeah. But it's knowing, it's the more people that come forward and go, no, this is what normal bodies look like, it is going to really help to take down from. Yeah. It's just, for me, I worry of the hold of social media as your kids get older. Yeah. And how it's going to be. Like at the minute, the school that my boys are in, they're advocating to the primary school, they're advocating to not allow phones at all. Yeah. So Nyla's preschool, there's no phones allowed in the junior school. Yeah. Which I agree with. I agree. Let's face it, children under the age, children still in primary school, most of the time, they're picked up and dropped. Yeah. They're dropped off and picked up. What do they need phones for? At that age, okay, to send a text message or make a phone call so they could use an old Nokia. You know what I mean? And yeah, I know
It's
that
scary, isn't it?
when I was a teenager, if social media was there, it probably could have been extremely dangerous for me.
Detrimental, yeah. But that's the thing as well, we didn't grow up with it.
No.
So this is all brand new to us. We're going to have to learn how to go about teaching them the safety, and it's a lot worse than we know, I think, as well, because it's a lot more accessible now. It's everything's in your hand, and it is scary. So good luck to us.
Yay! Well, that's another day.
That's another day.
That's a future me problem.
Yeah. That's not my today issue.
No. Oh God.
But yeah, so do you feel like you've changed how you look at yourself since having your daughter?
Yeah, and I don't think it's in a positive light.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately. I ended up having an emergency C-section with her.
Okay.
So having that actual visible scar
Is a big thing.
is a big thing, and that did affect me at the beginning. But I'm really trying to embrace it. Do you know, I'm like, I'm trying to embrace it. Obviously, I look at it every day, and I'm like, no, do you know what? Without that, I wouldn't have her.
Exactly.
That had to be done.
Had to be
She had
to get safe.
Yeah,
to get here safely.
Yeah, and I mean, I personally don't think I will ever be able to go, I love my body.
Yeah.
And look in the mirror and go, I love my body. I'm not going to ever be able to do that. But that's something that I'm just going to have to deal with or learn, because I don't have the confidence to do that. And I do think that I'm never going to be able to stop the voices or whatever. But I am now able to look at little things and go, oh, that looks all right today. Oh, yeah.
And I do think as well, how I feel mentally makes a difference on how I look at myself and talk about myself. So one day I can go in the gym and feel like amazing, dead slim, really strong. And then the next day I can be like, oh, I look absolutely horrendous. Don't want to look at myself.
Yeah.
And all that's changed is 24 hours.
All that's changed 24 hours. But then
how my brain's looking at it.
Also take into account, where are you with your monthly schedule?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so the week before, I'm always bloated, or I'm always just
I'm just starving.
Yeah, no matter what, I am just constantly hungry.
Yeah.
And that was it. When I remember when I was younger, that being told if you're hungry, just have a drink.
Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
Nothing. Yes, I know. I know. Or just maybe you're just thirsty, have a drink.
Yeah.
And it's I've had a drink and I'm still not.
I'm starving.
I'm
hydrated.
Yeah, I'm hydrated, but no, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And it's, but coming to your classes, when I walk through the door, a big part of me is just can't be arsed doing this. Can't be arsed doing this. But I'm like, no, do you know what?
Normal before I work out.
It is. But I'm like, no, do you know what? You're doing this for you. And also I'm like, you're doing it for your daughter so that she can be around all the kids.
Yeah.
And also it's always nice to come and see you.
Thank you.
But then afterwards I'm like, do you know what? I've now got myself into the frame of mind that I know that working out for me isn't about to make my body look a certain way. For me, it helps me mentally.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing for me.
Yeah. And that's what's happened. That was the shift for me. Once having Nyla, it shifted from I need to look this way to no, I need this to feel this way.
That's it.
I need this to be the best me.
Well, that's it. I need to feel this way for the best of my children.
Yeah.
For them to get the best of me, I need this release. I need these endorphins.
100%.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be going home and measuring myself and being like, oh my God. And also, I don't weigh myself.
I do weigh myself, but I don't at the same time. So
No.
I got to one point when I first started PTing, I'd weigh myself 5 times a day. And to see a difference, and it got toxic because I was around it. I was young, I was tiny. And I look back now and I think, you were so skinny.
Yeah.
I was too skinny. If I look back now, I don't like how I looked.
Yeah.
But I thought I was fat. But now, the one thing I struggled to come to terms with is because I'm now starting to lift a lot heavier. I'm gaining muscle and I'm probably at one of the heaviest I've ever been. But
That's
I look in the
amazing.
mirror and I'm like, okay, but that doesn't look how I thought that number would look.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to relearn that because I'll tell people my weight and they're like, what? You can't be that big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because I'm proud of that muscle.
Yeah.
It took me 1.5 years to build.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to just step away from that.
Yeah.
And I don't really measure myself either. I just go on how I'm feeling and how my clothes are feeling on me.
Feel exactly. And also reminding yourself that obviously for women, when it's around that time of the month, you're always going to be bloated.
Exactly.
It's normal. And also for me, I mean, this might be a bit too much information. I very much feel like when it is that time of the month, I don't want to go and work out because like I just
you don't feel
like it.
Yeah.
But also I'm like, I don't want a visible panty line on my leggings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I'm like, who cares?
All women are getting it.
All women are getting it. And it's just embracing that in a way.
Yeah.
And also, as a mum of boys, I do feel very much like I'm educating them in their, like standards of women.
Yeah, yeah.
Of what they're meant to look like.
Yeah.
What they should not expect. But I'm very much like, this is real. And
this is real life. They're not going to look like this. They're not going to look like
exactly.
this.
That's not how women appreciate to be made to feel, or don't do that to, and it's...
And thank God that you do that, because we need boys like that coming up.
That's it. And I feel that empowers me more as a woman as well, I feel. Because sometimes there's some things that like my husband says or does, and I'm like, oh, we can't really get away with that anymore. And he's like, oh yeah. And then we go, no boys.
But it's like ingrained into them. So they've also got to learn, which is hot. Like us unlearning a lot of things about diets and that. They've got to unlearn a lot about like the way they've been taught to be a man, and like the whole stigma of like, man up, don't cry, all that.
Yeah.
And so they've got their own battles as well. And
yeah, they have.
It's constant for everyone.
It is. There's never not something for us to be worried about.
No.
And that's, again, something for me that I'm very conscious of, like, there's so much going on in the world. But also don't let how you're feeling, don't let what is going on in the world make you think like, oh, I don't deserve to feel this way because there's worse things going on.
Yeah, it doesn't justify.
It doesn't, no.
Yeah, doesn't
you are allowed to feel the way that you're feeling. And it's just about making sure that you can basically confide in someone in a safe way. Because unfortunately, I honestly do believe that there's always going to be worse off people than you.
Oh, always.
But then also... there's always going to be better off people than you. So
exactly,
don't allow that to push you back from actually feeling diminish the way that you feel.
Yeah.
Or make you feel like...
because you matter.
Well, everybody matters.
Exactly.
And also, you are nobody is more important than anyone else.
Exactly.
Through my line of work, I came across quite a few celebrities, and I never got, like, oh my gosh, it's this person.
Yeah.
To me, I've always just been like, they're a human being.
Another person.
With the same, like, inside as I am. All they are is just they're on telly. And
just got a bit more money in the bank.
Exactly. Or, like, basically, they just got lucky.
Yeah.
They got lucky. They got their big break. But also, it doesn't mean that they're better than me.
No.
Or because I work in the service industry, you obviously work in the service industry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where you then come across people that then make you feel like you are just there for them. And then most of the time, it's like, actually, this is somebody that they mean nothing. Like, don't allow people to make you feel less than.
Yeah.
Because we're all the same, and it's just.
It is mad, and people do think that they've got more rights to do things and be places than others, and it's just
it's infuriating, especially it's just I'm very conscious with you treat people how you want to be treated. And I mean, I know that's like a saying that goes back decades, but it's still so true.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time when I do see people or I hear of people that, are acting in an appropriate way that I would feel that was appropriate, I then do automatically think to myself, ooh, I wonder what's actually happened in their life.
Yeah. Let's dig deeper.
Yeah, you're like,
get into
come on,
it.
let me take, like, it's like, you know, like taking the layers off an onion. It's like, if I just pick at this, I can find out this person has actually got so many issues with themselves, but they portray them as being some kind of amazing.
And that's what makes us all who we are, and all our different things add up to. That makes them a confident person, that makes them a shy person, and so on and so forth. So we all are just very unique.
Well, wouldn't it be boring if we were all the same?
Wouldn't it just? It would.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming on and chatting.
Thanks. I feel like we can continue.
It was like therapy.
Well, do you know, it is.
It is like therapy.
It is. But also it's realising that, again, everybody else is most likely feeling what you're feeling or thinking what you're thinking, but just you're too afraid to say it.
Yeah, voice it.
Yep.
Voice it to them people. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.